The Mishnah in Masechet Ta'anit, chapter 4, Mishnah 6, teaches that 5 events befell our ancestors on the 9th of Av. The Mishnah says, on the 9th of Av, it was decreed that our ancestors would not be able to enter the land of Israel. The first and second temples were destroyed, Beitar was captured, and the city of Jerusalem was plowed over. Therefore, the Mishnah says, when the month of Av starts, we reduce our joy. If we look closely at the biblical sources regarding Tisha B'Av, we actually find some confusion about the date of the destruction of the first temple. The Talmud Bavli in Masechet Ta'anit 29a explains that the direct destruction of the Beit HaMikdash unfolded not only on the 9th of Av, but actually over the course of several days. The Talmud says, on the 7th, Gentiles entered the sanctuary, and they ate and befouled it. On the 7th, 8th, and 9th. Close to nightfall, on the 9th, they set it on fire, and it burned continuously all the entire day. So what about the other tragedies listed in the Mishnah? Did they also happen on Tisha B'Av? Regarding the destruction of the second Beit HaMikdash, the Talmud teaches that it may not have actually occurred on the 9th of Av, but rather we see Tisha B'Av became a container for communal grief. The Bavli Ta'anit 29a teaches, we roll favor to a favorable day and guilt to a guilty day. Megalgalin zechut liyom zakai, v'chova liyom chova, which is to say, we enumerate meritorious events on favorable days and guilt on days of guilt and sin. Rashi comments there that the destruction of Beitar, also listed as one of the tragedies which happened on Tisha B'Av, is a tradition. Yet another tragic event folded into Tisha B'Av, our national container for grief. Tisha B'Av and Megillat Eicha are about communal tragedies and sadness, which affected everyone in our community, men and women alike. This underscores the importance of having opportunities for women to chant Megillat Eicha publicly on Tisha B'Av. When we hear the words of Eicha chanted by a woman, we hear the lamenting of the destructions in the female voice, and we emphasize inclusivity. We as a community hear women's voices too. We hear women suffering too. Women's pain matters. Women's experience as members of the Jewish community matter to the Jewish people as a whole. Throughout Eicha, Jerusalem is compared to a woman robbed of her beauty and grandeur, humiliated to the point of betraying her maternal instincts. Professor Shulamit Jelin writes, women's suffering, as we see in the Book of Lamentations, serves as a metaphor for national suffering. Jerusalem's destruction is likened to the destruction of the human body, and particularly the female body. This is as we read in the opening verse of Megillat Eicha, Eicha yashva badad, ha'ir rabati am, hayta ka'almana. Alas, lonely sits the city, once great with people. She that was great among nations is become like a widow. How much more powerful to hear this account of Jerusalem, the abandoned woman, in a female voice. Literary critic Professor Naomi Seidman, in her piece called Burning the Book of Lamentations, writes of the dissonance of hearing Eicha chanted by a man. She writes, reading Lamentations in the divided synagogue, hearing a male voice intone the complaints of the widowed Jerusalem, are we really a community of mourners? The, quote, men and women who recognize how much a woman's truth has to say about the broader experience of national degradation? When we create a more inclusive community where we hear and honor the voices and experiences of any and all of our fellow Jews, it brings us closer to repairing the sin of sinat, chinam, baseless hatred, which the Talmud says caused the destruction of the Second Temple. May this Tisha B'Av bring us a deeper ability to hear each other, to be present with each other, to be more understanding, and to value the voices of all members of our community.